Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Very Sky Readalee's video blog. I outdid the StreamYards. So, if Chris wants StreamYards with me, he's with someone that anyone who wants to do StreamYards with me is going to have to pay the bill. I'm not going to be able to. But I'm not here to ask for help or funds for StreamYard. I want to talk to you all today about my feelings. My feelings. Do you understand that word? Feelings. Now, I told Pee Wee I would be doing this. Now, Pee Wee said to me that there was supposed to be a package coming. Well, I looked over everything about my beloved sister Pee Wee, and I finally analyzed it with 4 cups of coffee in me. And I looked at it, I thought she was first accusing me of stealing or something, but, Pee Wee's not that way. She is direct and up front. But when I analyzed the information and then realized what has happened, I realized that the people in this country and in this county was delayed. Now, Pee Wee doesn't know this, except for what I've sent in the mail. I've been keeping a journal of how long outgoing mail takes to go out. Sometimes it's taking 12 days to go out. Sometimes it's taking 4 days. Sometimes it takes 24 hours. Incoming mail is a different story altogether. Informed delivery, one informed delivery piece. Well, did you know that sometimes mail doesn't even, informed delivery can be 8 or 10 days? I still need to sit down and write my aunt. I didn't do that last night. I was so exhausted. My feelings were hurt last night. You got this person, Debbie, uh, whatever her name is. I can't remember off the top of my tongue. You see, anyway, it's a new subscriber, wanted to stay up, was dead. And then finally, I think it was 3 or 4 in the morning this morning, I just gave up. I was like, look, I'm not going to be basically standing around here waiting for someone to reply comment-wise because of it. It hurt me. It hurt me to no answer because of yesterday's, adventure. I was like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. Debbie Wilson, I just looked at the comments to check, the comments in my channel studio. So, anyway, so you guys are wondering, why am I talking about feelings today? I'll tell you what I did, okay? Last night, I was talking about, Chloe can be nice, Chloe can be a bitch. Just depends on Chloe's personality, or personality of the day. Chloe's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, right? She would say, Miss Hyde, but, I'm not going to basically belittle her, all right? I do want to talk about my feelings, okay? During spreadsheets. And I want to get to the story too during these spreadsheets because I have 4. If I do 3 tonight and 1 tomorrow, the experiment's done. So shall I? It goes like this. Last night, after I decided to finish the Debbie Wilson standing me up. I think she fell asleep actually. So if she's around, she watches this, you're forgiven. It's not my fault to stay up for so long. Anyways, I'm not gonna hold it against her. But hopefully she doesn't hold it against me that I stayed up till the wee hours of the morning. But I would like to tell you a story. It feels or it goes like this. Last night, or early this morning, whatever you call it, time zones, I was minding my own business and I decided to watch some videos to tire myself out. And I realized I was watching my videos with my husband. My husband's dead, as you know, so I was watching it with him in it. And I was thinking about my feelings. Now, as you all know, I told you in today's video I wasn't going to talk negative about Chloe, but I want to talk about Chloe for a second in a different light. You see, as a human being like myself, we can sit there and laugh, but made me realize that it's time for Chloe to move on. And I've told her this. She's like, well, I'm on a lease. Well, the thing is the lease has to be changed, and the manager knows this. And the only reason why it needs to be changed is Chloe's not getting better. And Chloe knows this. Now, I don't want to sit there and say, oh, well, I'm a bitch. I'm throwing her out. No. The lease can be changed, and I have letters stating that I am entitled to this place by myself. I did what I needed to get it for myself. Fortunately, the reason the manager is being is so what I'm trying to say is my feelings are like this. What would you say if you were living miserable, right? Miserable. And you're sitting there and you're miserable, right? And then you bring someone out who needs a transition, be a female, everything else. And you try helping them, but the mental health system doesn't want to help them because the doctors turn around and say, quote unquote, this is borderline personality. They're threatening people's lives. They're threatening people. They're threatening people, right? And yet, former borderline, but borderline never gets help. Think of it this way: you're diagnosed with schizoaffective or schizophrenia bipolar. You're in a mental hospital. They diagnose it. They give you meds. Borderline doesn't have that at all. By the way, I need to do my dip because I'm having a minor headache without tobacco. But the main thing is I wanted to share that with you. You see, someone like Chloe's had 5 years, multiple hospitalizations, threatens their lives, threatens other people's lives, harmed other people's lives. Now, I'm not here to belittle people, okay? I'm not here to tear down Chloe. Chloe tears down enough people. What I'm saying with a heavy heart is Chloe's got to go. I was watching my videos yesterday and I realized yesterday, okay, the problem isn't me. The problem is Chloe. Now, I'm not saying, whatever, right? I'm saying in general, Chloe's got to go. Now, I've given Chloe many chances to fix her problems and get mental help. I'm not here to tear down Chloe. I'm just saying I watched my videos last night where my husband and I were happy. Where after my husband's death, I was talking about living in misery. There's a pattern here. The pattern is misery or misery. Before Chloe came into the picture, I had a routine. I went through some of my older YouTube videos. Now you can sit there and say, "Oh, really? What was on the videos?" I'll tell you. Me making a routine, okay? My mother told me one day my husband could have died. Honestly, I didn't know what she meant. I didn't know. You guys could sit there and say, "Oh, well, it meant." I'll check the comments in a minute. I literally told Chloe tonight that she's all talk. I mean, literally, takes her. See, I went to bed at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. I think it was almost 3. All right, now I know it's Sister Pee Wee, who I love dearly. Um, as my sister would say, "What the fuck were you going to bed that late for?" Well, I was watching my old videos. Thing in my heart. And that is responsibilities aren't hard. It's how you make them hard. To hone your skills, sometimes you're in the heat of battle. And you can sit there and say, "Oh, what am I talking about?" Talking about I'm talking about my friends, crises make you stronger. The Queen, when she took over in 1952, had crisis after crisis. In between, she had a financial crisis, she had this crisis, that crisis. I mean, from 52, she had the London fog crisis. Then she had the prime minister's retiring thing, the prime minister is dying, and strikes happening, the Suez Canal thing. If you look at all the shit the Queen of England to stack up, English people and endured 70 years of crises plus, king abdicating and everything. Badly, I tell you. Now, I'm a big fan of the Royals, by the way, only because I think all right. Well, the problem is you fell asleep on me, I think. So, one of the feelings I have in this discussion tonight is I feel two things. One, Chloe should go. Only because she's being unfair to me. Now she's afraid she's going to be homeless. You know what? I've given her too many chances. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and belittle Chloe, but I'm not going to be belittled either. I'm not going to allow loudmouth too, but basically yell and scream and accuse me of being loud and obnoxious like she is. It's like that 1776 movie that's on Roku for free. If you guys seen the musical, um, the guy that does the voice of Knight Rider, he's in it. Kit, the voice of Kit. He is he was as John Adams, obnoxious and disliked. There was a reason for it. Sit down, John. That's what they say. But the point is, and you're welcome, by the way, Debbie. The point is I was watching my videos last night between the death of my husband, where I was miserable, and basically getting things done. When hubby died, I didn't move. I didn't want to do anything. I had to literally clean his apartment, catalog everything I wanted to donate to Goodwill and to Habitat for Humanity. And yet, deep down in my heart, I suffered the death of my mother, the death of my Uncle Donnie, which was close to me, the death of my husband. I was looking over some humorous parts of my husband, Aaron. And I got to tell you, I love the man with all my heart. I miss him. Chloe, of course, thinks he's a piece of shit. You know, plain and simple. She couldn't get the point where my husband was teaching me a valuable lesson why I had breast augmentation done at breast reconstruction. That's how they build it. That's why it was $30,000. Well, 25,000 $991.91. See, I still remember the number. That's what it costs for these, by the way, if you didn't know. And I'm not wearing a bra usually because I don't go out much. But, there's a lot to go into breast augmentation. And I did a travel video blog series. I even did a travel video blog series when I went to Portland, where my family was. When I saw we did an adventure video about what happened in our adventures in Portland, me and hubby. The only time he was down there, he was excited to be down there, kind of worried about finances, but see where I'm going with this? So, the point being is, I was watching videos before my facial surgery and after my facial surgery and other facial surgery, and I looked like a blob in this video. I was looking at the older camera and I was like, what the hell made me look a lot better? Am I'm not masculine. I'm not. I look at myself and I wonder, am I an old biddy? Literally. The doctor said it'd take 2 or 3 years for the and so I used to wear makeup. I was in my ponytail, and I had my hair scrunched up like this, and I was watching some YouTube videos from a long time ago, and I was like, who is that? And it looks like me, but it was difficult, due to the fact I'm usually always up close. People say, oh, that's a dude or whatever, but that's the thing. When I had my breast done, people attacked me on Facebook. They wanted me to die and rot. When I had my face redone, again, they thought that someone like me shouldn't have it. It should be a cute, sexy tranny that's 18. It needs a pass so guy won't kill them for being a man in a dress, or to me, I've advocated. That's the thing. There's not a lot of people that will advocate today. And yet my husband and I did videos about it. Now you're probably wondering, how does this make me feel? After viewing all the information and doing everything that I think I can, I need to lose a little weight. I need to start going out more than just running on a treadmill. That's the other thing. I watched videos, ran in my treadmill, took a shower, put on another shirt. My family doesn't understand I do this, but the problem is I also had to wait for phone calls for a lady who was supposed to call us about research. They're delaying the research because of Chloe. And because of this, Chloe's loud, obnoxious, and disliked. But I'm not going to basically sit there, okay? My problem is Chloe's not going to change. It's time for Chloe to go harass and bother someone else. She wants to basically harass her neighbor. Not my problem. She wants to go harass the former neighbors of her old building. Not my problem. She wants to harass her ex-roommate. Not my problem. Let me put it to you this way. Now, I don't know what Miss Wilson thinks, but I've been trying to track down some videos that YouTube deleted. And she could sit there and say, oh, well, must be safety or something. No, a lot of my videos went private. It went to auto private, so I can't share some of them, but some of them went not auto private. So I'm in the YouTube studio looking for something anyways. What I'm looking for is it says live, right? Shows right now I'm live on this, but it's currently telling me I have approximately 1,932 live videos on YouTube over the course of 2009. Been around a long time, you know. I, on the other hand, am hoping that the YouTube vids, I'm hoping I can actually crank this out bigger. So let's see, how many can we do? 50 at a time? Good. Let's just freaking snap this up. I'm trying to look for something real quick, too, before I start. Apparently, my videos have been disappearing off YouTube. They're deleting some of them. Apparently, I'm already in the 2020 range. Yeah, you guys could laugh. I have 1,932 live videos. I started doing live videos, I think, in 2015 or something. I don't remember. I got tired of not doing. And the other thing is before Chloe was around, I actually enjoyed my home. That's the other thing. So I've got 600 YouTube videos since the pandemic began. Can you believe that? And not a lot of them got a lot of views, except for the stimulus ones, by the way. I'm hoping to clear up to get to 2019. Okay, so I got to 2019 now. What I'm doing is I'm trying to see, a lot of my other videos are in the thousands due to the fact that I have a lot, but I was looking for specific videos with my husband. Before I had facial surgery, before I had breasts, I looked like a different person. And okay, so apparently, so my video from something or other, let me see here. I'm just looking. January 2018. So anything before January 2018, apparently. Ah, there we go. It's still there. Okay. So I found this one, but I was looking for Glamming with the Sis is private. That was a copyright claim. Oh yeah, it was Dinky and I doing that. Trying to find the So apparently they deleted my video. Amtrak didn't like my video apparently on so I started in 2016 live. Before that I had approximately thousands of videos. Yep, see? So my train video went missing, by the way. Mm-hmm. Can you believe that? I can't. Anyways, 3 spreadsheets to do. I might do the large one tomorrow, depending on my mood. but we're making time. So I just want to say I'm happy. Hmm. All right, there we go. I just want to say, I wanted to share that with you. I was actually literally happy. I was looking at how I felt after Aaron died. Life got easier once I cleaned his apartment. And, it was interesting. Now, some of you could sit there and say, oh, well, it's not that bad. It was for me. I mean, having Aaron in my videos, having Aaron think, I mean, did you know Aaron in one of the videos, I made a joke about my boobs. I said, hands off the merchandise. He actually squeezed them. They flagged it, put it under private because they don't want anyone seeing it, apparently. But the thing is, it's still sad, you know. When you guys sit there and say, oh, well, I was going to do garlic bread ramen tonight. I think throw some bacon, put my bacon in my ramen. Finish up the club sandwiches, with now I can make club sandwiches, but I don't know how much bacon's left anyway, so I gotta look. You guys could sit there and say, "Oh well, maybe I've eaten two. I've eaten like 3 days. I think it's like 3 days of club sandwiches. But still, back then, one of the things I talked about in my video was responsibilities. Let me tell you a story. The manager wanted me out of my 2 bedroom, my 1 bedroom. I mean, in Quincy. She loaded the truck up herself to get me out. Now, Chloe wants to move there, and she won't even send an application to Chloe for whatever reason. And yet, she told me there's some new responsibilities ahead of me. When I moved to my new place, I was watching a video and I was talking about deer and the animals there. And, I was harassed by the police because Chloe kept making threats and everything else. And they'd come out all the time. They wanted to basically arrest me. I'm not the problem. So eventually, me and Chloe packed up. But here, it's getting to the point where I live in my ideal home, an island. And yet, deep down in my heart, I feel that when I was talking in my video, you guys could sit there and say, oh, okay, whatever, that I felt alive. When Chloe came in the picture, the first 6 months on the videos I was watching was great. Honestly, it was great. You guys can sit there and say, oh, well, what happened? Chloe changed. Her borderline personality she hid under the hood to get into my good graces came out. And people thought that was wrong. One of my friends, Tara J, basically warned me. And yet, no one knows the mathematical equation of what happened, literally. When I was looking over some thoughts, a lot of people say to me, well, what happened? Why did Chloe. The manager of our old apartment complex, the last one we lived in, where the police were harassing me, the manager liked Chloe. Chloe could have mental illness. She kept telling Chloe to get help. But Chloe, of course, kept refusing help. And then, you could sit there and say, oh, here goes. I'm not tearing down Chloe. I won't tear down Chloe. I'm not going to stoop to her level. But when Aaron died, I literally had responsibilities. I had to clean. I had a routine cleaning schedule every day. My neighbor turned around. My neighbor Shelly told me the place was always clean. She'd come in, we'd sit down, we'd have a laugh, we'd talk. I even shared recipes with her and cooked with her, and we shared meals. And she was Mormon. We adopted each other. I don't know what happened to her though. I texted her recently, but deep down, my sister Teddy said, for roommates, we're not compatible. You know, when I was growing up, when I was growing up, you could sit there and say, okay, here we go. Rita's going to talk about something. When I grew up, if I wanted something, my uncle Roger would make me a deal. Ron needs to be mowed. Your mom can't do it. You do it. You know what happened? Yeah, I mowed the lawn. Nintendo games, Super Nintendo games, Super Nintendo system, whatever I wanted, I got. But I had to work the summers. I had to mow neighbors' lawns. I had to do everything with responsibilities. My stepfather, Roy, he once asked me why I was too independent. I worked with him. I did roofing. I mowed lawns. I did what I could. I loved him dearly, but in the mornings, he would go to work. I'd be mowing the lawn as a kid. He adopted me. It wasn't really my biological father, but he adopted me. And yet, I had the responsibility. My uncle said, "You want this? You mow the lawn." Every week, I would go out there and mow the lawn. If the summer was hot and the lawn was growing hotter, I'd go out there twice a week. Eventually, Roy was nice enough to me a riding lawnmower, so that was convenient. But the responsibility was mine and mine alone. And I actually earned my stuff. So when I offer something and teach Chloe lessons like clean the apartment, you'll get a new computer. Never happened. Clean the apartment, you'll get that USB hard drive you want. Right now got another inspection. Bathroom's almost done, by the way. All tubs got to be done, the floors got to be washed, and the countertops have to be redone. And then the halls can be done in 20 minutes as long as we just put clothes away. Clothes are piled up, so we just basically take all the clean clothes, put them in the right places. Done. Tidy up the office, 20 minutes for me. Kitchen can take 30 minutes. I reorganized the pantry the other day. Stuff like this. I had goals back then. I would always on my video today's toilet cleaning day or bathroom cleaning day. Tomorrow's the kitchen. The living room's gonna be vacuumed. I vacuumed every day. What happened? Chloe wouldn't take over. But now, let me tell you what happened. When I got breast surgery, and I went to Lincoln, Nebraska for surgery from Washington State, my husband and I had to plan it carefully. We literally spent $2,000 of our own money over the course of several months. We bought train tickets. We bought plane tickets. Hotel was $500 for a week and a day's in. Taxi was $60 total. At least the hospital provided hotel after the breast surgery for me to go to a cab. Otherwise, we only utilized the cab when we had to. Hubby would get me out to walk around instead of sleeping all day after surgery. Sleeping was painful for breast surgery. Same with facial surgery. And yet, Aaron told me a long time ago when Chloe was homeless in San Francisco or San Diego, she's trouble. I didn't listen. Aaron turned around and told one of our best friends, his adopted sister, you marry a Hispanic, he's going to take you to the cleaners after 10 years. She didn't listen. She messaged me recently after I texted her, and I said, hey. She said, who's this? I said, this is Sister Rita. Turned around and told me her husband divorced her, stayed in the country. And her parents died. Told her she can always message me, I'm there for her. When watching my YouTube videos, I had a routine down, pretty pat. That's what Mom wanted. Mom wanted me to be independent. Corey and Tara, they want me independent. Back in the day, true story. Always when I talk on YouTube Live, true stories. Yankee used to get mad at me for buying cases and cases of my favorite flavored ramen. I don't know, doctors like back then. I watched a video where it was talked about doctors didn't want to do surgery on me because they ate too much ramen. Could be bad for my health. And yet, in my heart, I was on survival mode. But, same time, watching my YouTube videos, I realized that I was happy. You know? I was happy. I loved it. I was happy. I was independent. I thought I needed someone in my life, a roommate. First, I thought a partner, but looking over my previous videos and stuff, like even at the post operative videos when I was in a hotel healing after surgery I realized it was made me happy. It made me happy watching those videos. Now, Chloe, of course, was more interested in the video where Isabella left, because when Izzy was staying in the hotel, Izzy was going to be our roommate. Fortunately, Izzy spent all Chloe's money, apparently, on groceries. And Chloe had to feed someone who was overweight. And all the garbage under one of the desks in the hotel, Chloe had to literally clean the hotel room and tidy it up with all those food bags. Looking back at my past videos, a lot of people said what Chloe was doing was mental abuse and financial abuse. Look at spreadsheets I'm doing is balancing budgets and so forth, trying to recalibrate things. This I haven't done in 6 months. And yet I had to do it because the finances are down the toilet. You bring in, like I was telling Miss Wilson yesterday, bring in X amount of money, you're supposed to balance it out. But my money, after I put it towards goals and stuff, I mean, we were lucky, Chloe said today, that we actually had like 4 pumice stones. Manager wanted the tub completely clean. People told her how to do it, but Chloe, she doesn't care if the tub's got this much dirt stacked up, and I'm not tearing her down. I'm not. The thing is I'm trying to teach Chloe that there is responsibilities to living somewhere, You don't have 20 garbage cans stacked up around. You have recycling bins, you empty them when they're full. Put a new garbage bag in, continue. Garbage bag gets full, you pull it out, rotate the can. And so the other can starts getting filled up. And the other one's empty. You put new bags in the other. You take care of things. Oh, which reminds me, Miss Wilson's probably curious. I gotta feed him. He's hungry. He's always, because he hasn't cleaned his cage, his bowl sometimes gets filled up with his pellets. Hi, Boom Boom. See how he's dancing? I mean, he's hungry. Which I've been trying to tell her, you buy what you need. See, he's hungry. See? That's there, he's eating now, you know? I told Pee-wee she can watch this video in the morning if she wants. My main thing on this YouTube video is to tell you I was a lot happier when Chloe wasn't here, apparently. I got Chloe on disability as I promised. Chloe has a spending problem. We know this. And yet, she doesn't want to realize she has any problems. And to me, I tried to point them out like my husband pointed out my fault. My husband taught me. Control your anger. People like you. I tried teaching Chloe. There was a lesson I tried to show Chloe that Aaron was trying to teach me in a YouTube vid. Chloe didn't want to hear it. Empty threats. What do they do? Me, I'm tired of it. I'm literally tired of empty threats. You guys could sit there and say, well, you know, I'm tired of living with threats. I'm tired of it. You know? I'm tired of being belittled. I'm tired of talking in a low tone and people think it's yelling. Well, I'm not going to stoop to her level and belittle her. I'm just saying, you know, times have to change. She won't change. I was happy talking about learning the ways of my new town, the old town I used to live in, trying to figure out where the everything is and using the phone's GPS to get me places. I'm tired of it, you know. People say, oh, well, you know, why? Because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. That's the thing. I saw talking about my life. I was happy. Talked about things, you know. like Chloe, I realized I was a lot happier. But Chloe, of course, I realized was watching all my moves. Doing YouTube vids, she had to be there, making sure I didn't say anything negative and then get combative with me. Thing is there is something called freedom of speech. I'm not tearing Chloe down, but things happen. And guess what? Watching my own YouTube videos and then hearing, "Ooh, why are you watching that? That's crap." Looking at my face and seeing my face and saying, "Is that me?" Looking at my face. Was seeing me and saying, "Look, there's a woman. She passes." As I watched my videos and saying, "Look at that. The doctor did make it passable." Mm-hmm. And that made me happy. I look in the mirror and I think, male or female in the face? Female. I look like an old lady. I had blonde hair and red hair back then. My hair was naturally brunette, but my husband wanted me to be a redhead. My cousin Dinky wanted me blonde because it was easier to dye blonde with gray. My hair is pretty much gray from stress. I don't want the stress. I want to live in peace and in harmony. I saw myself on YouTube and I kept watching videos. I watched videos where my husband was talking about the trans community being vicious. It's true. When I got breast surgery, there was people on Facebook. I don't have Facebook anymore, as I told Miss Wilson. But back then, they were telling me to rot and die. Passable, cute girls that were 18 years old saying, "Well, I'm prettier than you. You should have given me the money to do it." Scammers scamming me while I was in Nebraska. You look at the big pictures back then, and it was sad. It was sad. I remember watching one of my videos. Yes, I gotta wait for the spreadsheet to be finished on F3. The website that I was working with went down. So we'll just wait. I'll save my progress and I'll continue talking with you guys. So what happened? I'll tell you. In the video, I was talking about Chloe saying everything's unfair. Looking at my videos was a diary back then. Made me happy to talk about upcoming surgeries and stuff. It's like I had a sense of humor back then that was sucked away. Like my life force was sucked away. Think of it this way. When I had breast surgery, I used to go places. People were more interested in me wearing a low cut top and seeing my boobs than they were about anything. But they didn't complain. They didn't have any problems. No problems at all. And the stories I said in my videos were funny. Girls saying, "Oh, your boobs are perfect," and all this stuff. And me going, "Yeah, whatever." Like a Kardashian, whatever. And seeing my husband squeeze my boobs on YouTube before YouTube put my video private. He used to be up there as public, talking about Portland and how bad Portland was when he went there. We didn't want to talk about Portland. Where in Portland I went, what doctors I went through, nothing. Insurance paid for facial surgery. When I see transgender people fighting and getting denied, and then they message me and they're like, "Ooh," and my answer is, you need to advocate for yourself. Hubby and I advocate. When he died, it was me, 3 doctors, a doctor, 2 doctors, a therapist that advocated. And yet, the video is about being unfair. How Chloe claims she's being wronged because they don't want to do surgery for her. They do. I have connections with the gender clinic in Oregon. They said if Chloe got her letters, they would do surgery for her. But thing is, Chloe has to work at it. When she turns around and someone says, "This is what you need to get better," and she turns and tells them, I'm not belittling her. She tells the therapist, the psychiatrist, the psychologist, fuck off. She's going down the toilet. I looked at my own videos, how I spent 17 years fighting to get my first surgery, which was breast surgery, in April 2016. Praying on the airplane to get it done and have the insurance paid for. Praying in the waiting room. Praying in the doctor's office in Nebraska's bathroom. Praying secretly. And then the doctor says, yeah. And then finding out the doctor decided with his own team and a nurse, Todd, who basically said if I was going to be a woman, I should have natural looking breasts that don't look like giant balloons in my body. They were going to put 550 cc's in, but the doctor 470 cc's would be just fine. Apparently, the doctor used discretion. Dollars. Facial surgery is done. It costed me like $2,700 after insurance paid. It's cosmetic. It's not functional. Looking back, talking about going around going around When my husband died, they put a lot of responsibility on me, and I had to clean this apartment. Manager, basically, I did all the cleaning I could. The manager still had to paint the walls, floors. I kept everything cleaned. Manager still gave the deposit to my father-in-law. But when it came to my place, I cleaned and cleaned and cleaned it. Still, I got 3/4 of my deposit back from my old place, put it towards my new place. I was fine. Even though there was a couple complicated issues back then, saying my cousin was great, who lived in Moses Lake, which truly was a complete douchebag. Now I know. Back then, I thought it was great he was helping me. The experiences, when you look back on your own video journal, makes you look back and say, what was I doing? What did I do? And people, and you sit there and you watch yourself in the past, and you're leaving this video for you to watch. And as you're watching yourself on video, you watch yourself and you're saying to yourself, how come? And you realize deep down in your heart, listening to someone in the past talk about unfair, how you limit them to $7 at McDonald's to eat, and you limit yourself to say $10, and that $3 difference is unfair while someone's not on disability at the time, and you limit them. Or hearing a story about going to downtown Buffalo Wild Wings after surgery, knowing that you're on ibuprofen and the ibuprofen's almost dead, and you tell Chloe there's a pharmacy around the corner, pick up a large bottle of ibuprofen for $10. Instead, she buys a bottle like travel size for $8. And you're thinking, did she listen? And you're in a bar. And all of a sudden, you're having a meal with your family. And you're all happy because the next day you're packing up early, taking a cab to the train station. And yet, you're sitting there on the train that night, and you have to sit on a donut pillow because you have your surgery and your pain. Doing a video in a hotel room in your panties because they don't want you wearing pants. Looking like a blonde, passable woman talking about a story like the hotel looking like crap that a transgender group paid for. So you can have your service dog with you every day at the hospital. But while you're in the hospital, Chloe's at home at the hospital most of the time, except for mealtime, because she knows it's $5 for breakfast, $6 for lunch, $7 for a 7-course dinner, and yet, well, you tell her, pay the rent, buy a few items at Office Max, get prepared so we can go home. Then a guy comes in by bus, drags her all over Portland to go shopping for clothes, and Chloe doesn't mind. Her excuse is, oh, he wanted to go everywhere. He says it's Chloe. Then, apparently, you hear Chloe say, this guy wanted to put him in place. I'm going to die at Chloe's hands. And so he's got to put Chloe in her place. And yeah, Chloe throws him out on the streets. So he or she can't transition. Instead, he ends up spending $900 to go from Portland to Louisville by airplane or Frankfurt. And yet, you tell Chloe to do something, she doesn't do it. And then you give her a limit on how much you're spending on food. I mean, the travel trips to go to Portland to prep for lower surgery because they needed hair removal done on the genitals was expensive. From January of 2017 to February 2018, I had to travel monthly to Portland without Chloe at times. And that tapped into the funds. Chloe was only bringing in cash assistance, but Chloe was spending it on whatever she wanted. You see where I'm going with this? And then I had to pick up the bill. And then when I limited her on my expenses and what she can have, she threw fits. It was like watching my video talking about how Chloe was throwing a fit about what she could have at Popeyes. Me looking online on the menu and saying, I want this, this, and this. I tried to do a lot of stuff at Popeyes the first night I was out of the hospital. And then learning I had to meet my family because my family at the time wanted to be friends with Chloe, wanted to accept Chloe in the family, but it didn't happen. Chloe was getting violent. I watched a video where I went out with my family to old Chicago. Now Chloe said, oh, we should take a trip to old Chicago soon. Well, if I get down to Portland for doctor's appointments, I'll be going to old Chicago. But the thing is old Chicago's got some really good chocolate beer made from Boulder, Colorado. Best beer out there, I think. A chocolate malt shake stout. Or it might have been a porter. Anyways, point is I remember going to Buffalo Wild Wings and ordering 100 boneless wings of my flavors. I was so hungry because my family was supposed to get me wings on Super Bowl Sunday that they skipped me. I was unhappy with them. Did you know that? That was the only time I think I was unhappy with them. They took care of me. And then find out that the maid service wasn't going to go into the Red Roof Inn where we were at because apparently I took the bed Chloe was sleeping on because I didn't want someone, quote unquote, fucking off in my bed. And yet, Chloe said the reason Isabella had to leave was because I was coming back. And yet, I wasn't going to share a bed after surgery. And Chloe wasn't going to share a bed. And the fact that Isabella was problematic when Chloe's money ran low, she turned and told me, my finances on cash assistance are low. And I said, why? And I showed a video in my video after surgery in February, which is private, of all the crap and trash piled up under the desk. And the refrigerator was leaking. I had to fix it, which Chloe was unhappy because he didn't close the refrigerator properly. And talking to you when I got home on another video where I got into Seattle to take Chloe to my favorite restaurant, which after surgery we went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and then afterwards we went to by cab. Then we went to another restaurant just to get a bite to eat because the train was delayed, and we had hot dogs. And some nice guy gave us $100 each, $100 bill. Chloe wasn't going to part with her $100 no matter what. I had to tap into mine, buy her hamburgers at the Kingdom Deli, which is in Pioneer Square around the corner. And then buy a few souvenirs at the Seattle's Best Coffee. And yet, looking back now, that was just purely selfish. That I had to spend my money for it, but I'm not turning her down. And then people say, oh, well, she's disabled. You have to accept it. I've accepted it for too long. I'm tired of this crap. I was looking at my videos before Chloe came in the picture between September of 2016 to April 2017, where I had a sense of humor. First 6 months from April to November was good until she went to the first mental hospital. Then she went downhill. And I should have seen it then. But deep down, I thought Chloe would change. She won't. The truth is in the pudding. She won't. Then I get an email, from Pee Wee thinking, someone stole a package that he sent me. Yes, Sister Pee Wee does send me packages. Send in a package, right? That's supposed to be coming from Walmart. And yet, it disappeared. When I looked over the note that Pee Wee sent me in the email about the shipping, it's still stuck in Burlington. And with the ferry delays, which, by the way, I just checked, ferries were canceled today for the night sailings. So no boats were coming in after 6 o'clock tonight because we have a crew shortages. Now, Chloe knows this. The mail's delayed because the mail trucks don't get first dibs. It's the semi trucks delivering the goods to the island get first. The mail is just secondary. And as long as the postal service is screwing people around, your mail will be delayed a while. And your packages and your whatever. The point being, everyone, out of love for you all, is out of love for you all, I looked at my videos and I said today, enough is enough. I literally had this happen today, okay? This is today's adventure. I got done at 3 in the morning or so, 4 in the morning with Miss Wilson, which the comments died off again. I don't know if she went to sleep. I got 2 people watching. And yet my feelings was last night is instead of watching Victoria, which I was planning, I tuned into the Rita and Aaron show, travel blogs, and other things. And in the end, my heart was hurting. In the end, I looked at Aaron, how Aaron was not just my friend, my companion, my husband. How when I looked back on those videos and thought about breast surgery in April 2016, 4 months later he was going to die, and then going and seeing my cousin I hadn't seen in 26 years, with only a 2-month window of him going to be passing away, And then 2 days before he died, my aunt, uncle, my cousin, and cousin-in-law drove out here so they can go see my idiot uncle that's semi-disabled and retarded. And yet, I remember my cousin's Facebook post, can't go to work today. Found out cousin's husband, who we met up 2 days ago, passed away. I can't go to work. I mean, look at the picture here. I was miserable. Not only that the neighbors laughed that my husband died, but I literally had Poppy tell me it was a sacred trust to clean the apartment. And yet he got the deposit for the apartment. It was a sacred trust. Then he wanted me to ship half his stuff that Aaron had, DVDs, box sets, stuff that, and yet I couldn't do it. Deep down, I couldn't do it. And then I talked about extended responsibilities. Going to the stores and people sitting there and saying, where's Aaron? He passed away. No, really, where's Aaron? He passed away. No, really, where is Aaron? And showing Aaron's obituary, which I saved. And people shocked as I got Moppy researched. Or the night that the dog catcher took Blizzard away. And the dog catcher saw me had bleed right around here. Turns out Blizzard bit me. That video I watched today too. And you're thinking to yourself, 11-year-old Eskimo biting me because he's scared. And then they put him down 24 hours later for aggression. You're thinking 11-year-old dog find a home. And they just put him down in a kill shelter. And then you find out when you're in Portland a month later that he's dead. Spending Christmas with the family in Portland. Looking over the house that I lived in with my family in Portland. And crying today, saying, I miss that place. And hearing my cousin say something like, well, I don't want to deal with policies. So they sold their house and left after the election. And all their friends in Oregon, being Democratic mostly, except for a few that left to Tennessee and other southern states. You get where I was going with it. They had a plan. And yet, talking about my adventures. Oh, I'm writing letters today. I went to the post office and bought 40 postcard stamps and 4 books of stamps, sent out my business letters, did my business emails, sitting in their home, made dinner for my cousin, loved my pork chops. I mean, these are things in my videos that I talked about. And then how I joked about how Aaron didn't like pork chops, And yet, what am I feeling? A shame that I didn't listen to the family when they said what I'm getting is verbal and domestic abuse. I remember disarming Chloe once and ending up having a concussion, a mild to medium concussion, after I had to disarm Chloe because she was going to go kill the neighbor who was Scottish African, who has a citizenship because her dad was in the military over here. She grew up in England, in Scotland, in Wales. Great woman, Sharon. And yet, Sharon turned around and gave me so much insight, I didn't listen. Same with Julie and what happened. I look back now and I think, what was I doing protecting someone with severe mental illness that won't even get help? Well, tonight I was on the phone to Dad and I said to him, he says, it's understandable. You're happier back then. Back then, I never showed the videos talking about the extended responsibilities I had that Dad put me through. In the end of the day, I remember talking about a video where I got up at 4 in the morning, walked the dogs, did my devotions, boarded the bus, went to town, saw the doctor, couldn't get a deal on porterhouses in Safeway, went to the apartment manager, had everything in order, and the manager said I was spot on the certification for my apartment at the new place. I had my own porch. I could open the sliding glass door, go out there, light a cigar, and smoke it out there. No problem. Here, you have to go all the way to the corner to smoke. You can't sit on your own parking space that we have and barbecue. You can't sit out there with a little card table and do a video review. No, you have to review it all the way up there at the hill, off the property. I asked Mary Jane the other day if I came back, can I have a unit with sliding glass window, preferably my corner unit? She said she'd put me on the list. I don't really want to live in that county, but you know what? Looking at things the way it is, I miss it. I missed going off my balcony, which the other neighbor died, so he wouldn't complain of the cigar smoke. The responsibilities were mine. I talked to paying the bills. Well, cool. So, Miss Wilson, you're listening to me talk. I want to get your opinion. What do you think? Come on, share your comments. That's what I'm here for. I used to talk about today. I went to the post office, got money orders for the rent, paid the bills, and did my layaways. Talked about adventures that I did. Talked about adventures in Portland, how we went from every bar in Portland, every strip bar in Portland in one night before I was leaving to come up here again. Spent 6 weeks in Portland, Christmas time. Talked about how I was going to buy a pair of noise-canceling headphones at Fred Meyer. Instead, Christmas morning, there was already 2 pairs my family got me and a coat. Coat failed, by the way. My cousin was upset that the coat didn't last long. But now, let me show you this coat. This coat was given to me in Christmas 2020. Now you could say, oh, how toasty is it? You want a winter's coat. Look at that lining. Look at this. Let me show you. Arctic. It's an Arctic coat. See? What you do is now you can sit there and say, oh yeah, you know what? I've only worn this probably 6 times out since I've had it. Hangs on the back of the chair, so if I do gotta go out on a cold day, I'll put my phone here with my tobacco can. I put my gloves here, my mask here, and if it's raining or snowing, I can do this, button her up like this. All lined, nice and toasty. That was one of my Christmas presents from my family, including my coffee cup you see I'm drinking right now. Point is I Tara to take Chloe to Goodwill, get her a coat. Coats were like $5. A $50 London Fog on my money. Tara didn't give a shit. The thing in the hotel right before surgery, this was like 3 weeks before surgery, final surgery, lower surgery, Miss Wilson. You know what happened? And for the rest of you viewers, I told Chloe she can have $7 to buy McDonald's. If she got 7 McChickens, she's full. If she got 4 McDoubles, she's full. 3 McTriples, fine. 4 McDouble bacons, fine. Chloe didn't think me spending $10 for my meal and her 7 was fair. I remember one time, you're going to laugh at this, everyone. I decided to take a walk through town for the pandemic. This was 2019. I went to town for lunch. Usually when I went to lunch and paid bills when I lived in my old place, Shelly, my Mormon sister, and I would go out. We'd either hit up Jack in the Box, KFC, Mexican restaurant, Tacos El Rey, husband's favorite place. One of the videos, or one of the pictures in Omar Aaron's obituary was from Tacos El Rey. I'll tell you about Tacos El Rey in a minute. I got a letter basically stating Chloe has to leave. I have the 2-bedroom letter written by my doctor, and frankly, Chloe will be leaving. She will be leaving because I'm having the manager remove her from the lease. I can do that. There's another thing I can do to fully make sure she doesn't come back, and I can do that too. I have options. Thing is, I'm looking at my options now because Chloe is leaving, and I'm not putting up with her crap anymore. I mean, look, I'm talking about the past right now. Look what she's done. I tell her $7. She basically throws a fit when I spend 10 for myself. And I had to literally supply her food because she wasn't on disability at the time. Well, let's continue with the Moses Lake and the Friday Harbor incidences. Shelly and I would go out and pay the bills together. Sometimes we both ended up wherever. One time she had to go and get an electric subsidy from Project Orange, I think it was. I can't remember, but we ended up in a bar next 2 doors down. Nice bar, by the way. I went in there and this guy asked me if I wanted something. And I said, oh, yeah, I'll take a beer. He gave me the beer menu. And they had something called by Elysian Brewery. Elysian, by the way. Men's Room. That sounds like something you would rent. The Men's Room. Well, it was an ale. I don't even know if to make it still. But anyways, the men's room. Then Chloe calls me and asks me what I'm doing. Because, she used her Skype and called me on my phone, which was a 3G, 4G capable E-Series Motorola. I said, yeah, I'm out paying bills. I'll be back. She asked if I was doing lunch. I said, yeah, I'm doing lunch with Shelly. Chloe threw a fit. It was unfair that I'm going to lunch. And my answer was back then on my video was, from over 4 years ago, was tough shit. The world's unfair. You're not paying. You don't deserve it. You won't clean. You won't cook. You won't do anything. You want to sit and sleep all day because your mental depression with me. And I asked for a couple Cameron dishes. Cameron's, if anyone needs to know, shrimp. Chloe was upset. Took some takeout. When I delivered a photo of what I have of him was at that restaurant. When I walked in there, the day was talking on my YouTube video from 4 years ago. Oh no, 6 years ago. Yeah, 6 years ago, Miss Wilson. I said I walked in there and the person asked me about Moppy, why he's with me. I said he's retrained for me. She said, why? I said because my husband died. They gave me a discount in memory of Aaron. These people are the nicest people in the world, Hispanic people. Yet tonight, I turned around and Chloe was causing a big stink in her room about racism. How she thinks that the Hispanic race is not a race at all. or the Dagos, or the WAPs, as she calls it, being negative. And I literally looked at her and I says, "You are bitter and you are a racist." Then she said she wants to go to Arizona and vote for Trump so Trump can take away my subsidized housing. I mean, this is the stuff that she tears me down. I didn't tear her down. I told her to grow up. Grow up. Now, the incident with Friday Harbor was similar. I went to lunch. I went to the Friday Harbor Crab Shack. Chloe called me and asked how was it. I said it sucked. So afterwards, even the beer sucked. They put it in a plastic cup. They didn't give me enough. I went over to the Casket Schooner. And at the time, I was hungry still because they didn't give me enough fish and chips. They gave you like fish nuggets and claimed it was fish chips. I went to the Casket Schooner my first time. Fell in love with the cod and the halibut, marking them as number one. At the time, I went to the Hungry Clam. They kept screwing up my order. They didn't get a good review and they went out of business. The Bait Shop, number two for my favorite fish and chips. They also put the fish and chips in newspapers. I love when they do that. Other restaurants can't compare to fish and chips. I used to eat it at the China Pearl, but one day they got some meat and the fish must have been poisoned or something because I was sick. And when I did throw up several times, ended up in the hospital, they said I was puking up red stuff. When they analyzed it, it was literally contaminated fish. I stopped going through the China Pearl. But the point being is life isn't fair. But life is fair if you advocate for yourself and you get things done. I wrote, and this is something that people don't know, every breast surgeon in America that does transgendered breast surgery, 4,000 of them. My husband thought it was insane from 2013 to 2016. I finally got someone willing to take a chance on me in Nebraska. I wrote every facial surgeon, about 2,500 of them. One person took a chance with me in Oregon. One. You do the math on the postage stamps and how many letters I went through. I needed letters and envelopes. I was buying $1 envelopes at the dollar store, 50 at a time. My husband was doing the math thinking I was crazy. But did I advocate? Yes. Did I get it done? Yes. I even emailed them too. My husband didn't want us to go to Miami at the time. Apparently the doctor that did Chloe's dad's surgery was in Miami. But that guy, I believe, lost his license or got kicked out of the University of Miami. But I had consultations in Michigan on the phone through video conference. Consultations in New York, Chicago, Texas, other states that did gender confirming surgeries. And I ended up doing Oregon because it was closer. And the fact that I had my family there. So for my family to stay so long in Oregon and allowing me to get it done was amazing because of the advocacy. I mean, literally, telling me tonight that they're angry at the fact that they want me to lose my house, and then they're threatening to call CPS and APS on neighbors and stuff. You don't make empty threats to get what you want. I literally told her this is stuff that I don't want to deal with anymore. I told her outright, I don't want to live this way. I was a lot happier after my husband died because I had to basically realize things. I realized I was talking about my sister, who was a complete bitch who committed suicide last year. I still mourn her loss. It was the good times I had with her, but my sister must have been on drugs because she wouldn't email bomb me and text bomb me about I deserve this and I deserve that and I deserve to rot and die. And a sister doesn't say that. Sister is probably borderline too. I don't have to put up the abuse with Chloe, saying it's unfair on foods. The food bank, for example, gives food, right? The reason I never went to the Quincy one or the Moses Lake one is because the food was expired. Chloe, of course, comes out here semi-expired, but certain things like bacon and mashed potatoes and stuff that they give, she'll hoard them for herself. So I don't care. I don't care if she hoards it. My thing is, it's not my job to sit there and allow someone like Chloe to inhale maybe 4 pounds of bacon a month plus whatever else. I remember in the past, I would cook up 3 pounds of bacon. Safeway, $7.99 a pound for 3 pounds at the time. Limit 4. I'd cook up 3 pounds, get done cooking, 3 hours of cooking, putting it in Ziploc bags, pounding to make meals out of it. This is in the past, and I was watching my videos on it, and Chloe literally ate 3 pounds by herself. Think of what Chloe's doing to her body. I eat bacon only when it seems it's part of my meal plan. Eats a shit pot full of ramen, which is bad for your health apparently. And yet, I was listening to my own self on YouTube today talking about how the doctors didn't want to do surgery on me, Miss Wilson, because my diet consisted of ramen, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they were worried about me dying on the operating room table because of heart disease. And yet, my husband's diet was ramen for lunch every day for 30 days, pasta noodles and spaghetti sauce for dinner 10 times a month, and other things. My husband's diet killed him. Even the coroner said that the ramen didn't help him any. Even the doctors told him to be careful. When I told my husband's dad tonight that, he didn't say anything. He's just like, can we get to the movie? So, to me, watching myself talking about these adventures made me realize I have feelings. My feelings is life is unfair. Advocate. You don't need to advocate. If someone's paying the bill for your meal, you take what you can get. You don't just sit there and demand. Like the time at Buffalo Wild Wings when I met my family, I said Chloe got the medicine and came back. Wanted her own wings. Then she couldn't handle the heat of the wings and took them home to let them cool so she could eat them later. And yet, every time she turned around, my family asked if she was going to buy with her own cash assistance her drinks, pear cider. When the bill came, when we had 3 bills, mine, Chloe's, and Taryn Corey's, Chloe got up, walked outside to go sit on a bench. As she left, she said, "Pay the woman, Rita." My family remembers that. I had to literally buy her drinks and her meal because she didn't want to. She just walked out like she was a prissy princess, like Princess Margaret in The Crown. Pay the woman. Arguing with me at what I can have and can't have since I'm paying the bill at Popeyes. I wanted to try Popeyes. My husband, he planned the meals of three large pizzas, $5 each pizza. He'd bring it back when we were in Nebraska. He brought it back. I have the coupons still I saved for my souvenir from Nebraska, Long John Silver's. First time I went there, they had all you can eat. I was healing from surgery, so they brought me out fresh plates of hush puppies, fries, and fish. We were there till closing. We went back to the hotel and watched TV and updated people. We literally, first night was McDonald's, crappy. They didn't even have specials at the time. That's what was sucky. Second night was Pizza Hut. Third night was Long John Silver's. And then when we went to the buffet for Pizza Hut, they said it's all day. We went at 2:30. They closed the buffet at 2. We had to go to get 3 large pizzas, $5 each. Pizza wasn't healthy either. 4 months. At that point, it was 4 months till he was going to die. And I didn't know it. I didn't see it. And yet, deep down in my heart, if I could turn back time and God gave me a chance, I'd save his life. I mean, literally. There was a message in today's video that my husband is doing in Nebraska. Chloe didn't pick up on it. I did. Chloe just didn't care. Chloe thinks the world. Plain and simple, you have to freaking advocate. And yet, watching my videos and seeing the temper tantrums she had, or the story where she literally left me in a wheelchair after surgery because she couldn't get her card to work and she had to go to US Bank, which was all the way across to me there if I didn't use my debit card for a power supply for a computer. How cold hearted is that? You had lower surgery, you can't lift, you can't do anything, and yet you're being threatened that you're going to be dumped in a wheelchair, which you can't push yourself without tearing the stitches and destroying your own genitals because of it. That's how that these are the temper tantrums they have, like a child. I said they're basically like a child. I'm not the motherly figure. But watching my videos, I realized on a train while I'm doing a YouTube video, asking me when I'm going to play Guild Wars again with her. I say, when you get the cleaning done. When's that? When you get the cleaning done. Seems I was stuck in my own ways, Miss Wilson, but still. Looking at my own videos made me realize she won't change. And she's got to go. And I'll do my best to get her out. I want to be in peace. I don't want someone hovering over me, watching my YouTube videos, commenting. People are trying to evict us because they don't want Chloe here. And the only way is to delay the recertification, which story goes today. I called up I had Chloe go to the manager and the office was closed. Then she was halfway home when I told her, use common sense. She says, I ain't that effing word. Use common sense. Call the manager on the cell phone. You have the cell phone. So she grabs a piece of paper that talks about the other buildings, and some aren't subsidized, some are subsidized, some are full price at $1,300 for a one bedroom or studio. Brings it back. She calls the manager. Manager answers. And she says, we've been trying to get a hold of you for research. We don't want it held up. The manager says, oh, it's held up because of this error. We can't research you without the advocate we use that helped fill out the forms. The advocate messaged me and said she could come in at 1:30 or 3:30 on Thursday. I emailed the advocate back this evening. She emailed me before I got on YouTube. I said, look, she's closed at 2. We'll take the 1:30. The advocate said, okay, but you have to be at the meeting. Make sure you take a bath and clean yourself up so you're presentable when you go there. Chloe's throwing a fit. You know what? Chloe doesn't have a choice. If the advocate's going to go to the meeting and sign the papers that we have to, and I'm there, I can sign my part of the lease and leave. Chloe's going to sign her part, fine. They think Chloe's afraid because I have the letter for the doctors to keep this place for myself. She's out. She is out. She won't get it better. Literally, I've had therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists that's working with Chloe saying she won't get better. She won't accept her mental illness. Her bridge with my family. She's burned her entire bridge with her own family, Miss Wilson. Her mom said that she can talk to her mom when she gets mental health and hangs up the phone. Grandma says the same thing. Grandpa in Oregon says the same thing. The last straw with Chloe was with her mom. When Chloe at Christmas time was supposed to spend Christmas and New Year's in Oregon, and her mom was going to take a Panama cruise trip. from Florida to California, several weeks. What did Chloe do? Chloe decided, because she was watching TV and I told her to go to bed and get up at 5 in the morning, take the ferry to make sure she got to her plane trip, to take the later bus. Now, you're probably wondering what happened there, right? She took the last bus from Anacortes to March's Point, got into Mount Vernon, and the last bus left 30 minutes previous. Told her to get out earlier, but she didn't do it. Then she promised her mom she'd be on the plane. Her mom set up a nice overnight king-size suite in Seattle with a free shuttle to the airport in the morning. What does Chloe do, Miss Wilson? Finds out the bus is late, goes to the Greyhound, packed to sardines. Nothing for the next week. Booking solid. She gets back on. She doesn't get in till the last boat at like midnight. Chloe's mom messaged me and says, I can't take this anymore. You can't either. It's time to get rid of her. She basically made her mom rent someone who spends $100 a day for 3 weeks plus Chloe's former ex-girlfriend in Ohio to take care of their farm because Chloe wasn't there. Chloe's mom said that was a selfish thing. And I told her, Chloe got on, by my calculations, by the bus. I don't think she'll be there. Chloe did it on purpose. Chloe's mom even emailed me on it. So when we get these trolls saying, send my son home, Chloe's mom said, I would never frickin' troll you. There's the proof right there. She won't do it. We were on Zoom when Chloe was saying, oh, I'll be there with her mom on a Zoom meeting with my dad. And they were talking about travel. And guess what? Her mom just said, F you. You don't deserve anything. No Christmas, no birthdays, nothing. You won't even get help. Jesus, I can see why Rita wants you gone. And I was watching my videos realizing, yeah, excuse me while I use the bathroom. Look, I don't need an executioner. What I need is for Chloe to leave. I don't need them dead, okay? When you're talking about executioner, you're talking about death. I don't want anyone to be murdered. What I need is to do this legally on the lease part because I don't want them here. I don't want to see myself on video talking about the things that Chloe's done and then chalking it up to its mental illness and I'm a minister of God and a saint. I have to put up with it. Let me put it to you this way. I offered Chloe X amount of dollars for me to clean her room. She refused. We have an inspection coming in 6 days. Chloe can't meet the deadline. Chloe's in her room listening to music. Then she says it took her all day for the bathroom because the toilet was nasty. All day. And yet, the floors look clean, the tub looks clean, but you just got to tidy up the minutes if you just scrub down everything that the manager wants, including the tub. The halls, all you need to do is put away clothes. Their clothes are stacked up. And the office could take 30 minutes. In here, 20 or 30 minutes in a vacuum. Chloe, of course, doesn't want to do it. And then Chloe tells me that she's afraid she's going to a group home. Group home. The state of Washington won't put anyone in a group home because they don't want to put someone in. Chloe's got to volunteer. Chloe won't do it. And yet, in everything that's happened, and it hurts me. Literally hurting me. Throwing a fit. Throwing the Amtrak conductor out of our sleeping car so Chloe can do her own private business on the upper bunk. Our Powerade, new flavor, was like white berry blast or something, right? And I had to have electrolytes. Instead, I had to give it to Chloe because Chloe threw a temper tantrum. And I'm watching my own YouTube video saying to myself, why? And I take all those documents and I put it into a Word document, which is on Google Drive, that says, for the letters of doctors that Chloe takes to the mental hospital, to the hospital Harborview. And then, lo and behold, the social worker calls me, and I said, didn't you get the letter? They go to Chloe. Chloe says, oh, I didn't want that letter shared because I put it in the trash. So the social worker calls. She says, this person needs severe help. You know, hell on wheels. I had a relationship with her a long time ago as a companion. Unfortunately, it failed. All right. And because of it, the manager screwed me over in my old back. And then the police started harassing me and I left. Like I said. But here I just want to live in peace. Plain and simple. I just want to live in peace. Chloe knows this, but she wants to fucking talk about politics all the time. Oh, are we going to be committed in camps and die because we're tranny? Every freaking day I tell her, leave me the fuck alone. My boundaries and personal space is don't talk to me. But she wants to go on. Then she wants to attack the neighbors. Then she wants to call the neighbors spics, wops, dagos, beaners, whatever. And gets angry with it, threatening to call APS, CPS, FBI, NSA, Secret Service, whatever she can do. And then I tell her volume control, and she tells me to fuck off. I'm not belittling her. I'm just telling you the mental illness. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, Chloe's a piece of crap and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm saying this is a crap I deal with every day. And I told her a long time ago when I put boundaries up, enough's enough. Plain and simple. Watching my own videos, I fell asleep watching one, so I got to go rewatch it. But the point is deep down, I'm not happy. She's the problem. She knows it. She doesn't care. She doesn't care if she makes everyone live in misery as long as she freaking gets what she wants. But she can't get what she wants because she wants to harm other people. I got boobs. It was fine. She didn't care. But when the facial surgery came out, I was talking to her on Facebook. She didn't care. It was like, oh, well, you know. And then she tells me my doctor did a shitty job. She even told the doctor to her face she did a shitty job. That, like me, I look really great and hot. The doctor was willing to do her surgery, but to tell the doctor that she did a shitty job. And then goes to mental clinics. All the clinics she's been to, I had to submit 20 mental clinics she went through. She went from one place to another place to another place, firing them because she wanted her letters. And they said, we can't give you your letters because we need to diagnose you properly. Well, she said, fuck you, and left, looking for another place. Another place did it. And then when they said that the hospital set out outpatient therapy through these clinics and these places, show them the fuck off. She wanted her letters. So, people to fuck off. She doesn't get her surgery. And then she tears down everyone who's got the surgery. I don't sit there and tear down people. I've been discriminated enough in my life, you know. And then she says to me, she comes back and says, oh, yeah, the guy on the bus told me I couldn't wear a shirt. Okay, let's put it this way. You put a sweatshirt on. Let's just say you get an extra large sweatshirt and it goes down halfway to your knees, right? And it looks like a mini dress, right, Miss Wilson? You think people want to see that on a trans woman walking in on a bus? They're going to say, put some pants on. You go to the grocery store. Okay, Miss Wilson, you probably don't know this. You go to the grocery store in the same outfit, no problems. And one day the manager says, ma'am, can you please put some pants on? And I'm outside, having a cigar. So I get up, I go to the manager. Excuse me, man. The manager says, yes, ma'am. How can I help you? I said, I'm with her. What's going on? Can you just spill the beans? Oh, yeah, it is. What's the problem, ma'am? I asked her to put some pants on, but she was screaming, yelling, cussing out on the main streets. Order for any of the 5 businesses that the trespass order is in effect. The 2 grocery stores the owner owns, the t-shirt shop. So Chloe starts spilling bad reviews to the shopkeepers. Bad reviews to the shopkeepers. What the hell is wrong with my fucking thing? Okay, again, bad reviews on the shopkeepers. Yeah. Oh, they're this, they're racist, they got rats and mice and everything else. The owner knew what she was doing. She was trying to dissuade people from going there. They have rats, they have mice living there, they don't keep their place clean. She had to go off island to another grocery store, complain to them. The other guy, well, Chloe got so bad, right, Miss Wilson, that one day she went in to buy a pair of leggings on my dime. I had to call the manager up at Rite Aid to find out that there was a no trespass. I didn't give it to him, but they said if Chloe ever showed up at Rite Aid, they'd serve her, and she'd go to jail for a whole year. What did Chloe do? Called the manager at the Rite Aid once a week. A white trash whore trailer park trash asshole trumper, whatever. You do the math. Watching these videos now, too much trouble. Too much trouble. Everyone knows my email address. It's not a thing, But no, that's okay. Not right now because I have trust issues. I give my email address out, it might end up being someone else I don't want. We had Joe Gill giving trouble too back then. Gail left. Gail was worried about my safety too. The sheriff came out several times on YouTube incidences, but look at this fucking shit. I told her to clean the fucking bugs and the pellets. Now I got fucking 6 flies in my coffee. See? That lost half a cup of coffee because of fucking bugs. I might consider it later. Let me put it to you this way. One of my options I've spoken to in the past was a restraining order. Now, one of the advocates has been threatened so many times until the restraining order is issued, she won't talk to me because Chloe needs to go. And yet Chloe keeps calling her a fat Twinkie eating pig. Thing is, there's only 2 options. I went with the better option of getting her out through a letter with the doctor. The other problem is, as everyone knows, is finances. After bill, she should have $500 a month left over to do what she wants. She has 0. Where money goes, no one knows. Spending problem. Then I should have like $900 left over. It's empty. No one knows. So that's $900. That's $1,400. Miss Wilson goes through the drain. I'm doing the accounting. You see where I'm going with this? Now you could say, oh, I'm complaining, but I'm not. I'm just basically talking reality. Every time I turn around, you know, oh shit, the battery's low. Hold on. Don't tell me the fucking plugs. Let me look. I think this fucking thing's giving me the heebie jeebies. Okay. Plugged in. Fine. So apparently my Wi-Fi was acting up with my computer. Everyone giving me some connection issues due to my battery being low. The thing I'm trying to say is, I've seen my videos from 2016 to when Chloe came in. I was happy. For the first 6 months, I was happy because I thought true companion after Aaron. But truthfully, no. She hit her borderline, lied, cheated, and stealed threats. I mean, my safety, I can defend myself, but the thing is, it's time for Chloe to go. I have advocates worried about my safety, but they think 4.5 gallons of bourbon a month is a bad habit to cope. They're right. Writing in my journal. They're right. Writing in my journal, I've delayed my journal. Been focusing on my spreadsheets. Chloe always demands I play ESO with her. I don't want to play ESO with her. I don't want to play any games with her. I started 2 years ago paying $140 a month. I'm down to 90. I've cut out streaming services for Chloe to watch movies that she wants to watch. She never does. She sits in her room. What? What do you want? And I'm not belittling her. It's like that's why I share my streaming services with my family. They can get my money's worth. I mean, look, I've utilized Amazon Prime so much this month, Netflix and Hulu. I think I got my money's worth. Now, your old dad wants to go and watch all the Marvel movies. Doctor Strange is on the list tonight. When I said, why don't we do all of the Marvel movies in order? From Iron Man 1, 2, and 3 to the Avengers to Captain America to Captain Marvel to Captain whatever, He says, well, we can get our Disney's worth. I even offered it to cousin Corey and Dinky. And to my aunt and uncle. And yet, I don't know what it is about me, but every time I look at my face on YouTube, I think the doctor did a good job. That's one of the reasons why I was watching movies or YouTube vids till 2:30 in the afternoon. Chloe didn't get up till like noon. And then she was bitching about me watching myself. Oh, you think you're so hot. No, I think I pass. And then she gets mad and combative with me. I was interested in two things: looking at my stories in the past with hubby and looking at the past in between hubby and Chloe. And then looking at the past with just Chloe in certain videos. And I'm telling you, Chloe convinced a guy, okay, to come out from Kentucky to move in with us to be a roommate, to work at Taco Bell in Washington State. All he had to do is save his money up. He had like $6,000 supposedly. Okay, I don't know everyone who's watching this, but apparently within 6 days or 5 days, I was in the hospital at 14 days. So the time frame, from what I remember correctly, that time frame, his money was drained on food and beverages and everything else. And as soon as I was coming to the hotel for 5 days to recover before leaving. Chloe threw him out. No money, left the room like a trash heap, trying to put Chloe in his place and everything else. Chloe threw him out. He had to borrow money from his parents and his grandparents to go home. He messaged me a few months later asking if I found his tablet, his computer, and his couple other things that he missed. I said I didn't. His game container or something, It was in the hotel room. Chloe probably pinched it, but we will never know. Thing is she, not Chloe, she, Izzy, stopped talking to me. That was it. Then other shit hit the fan. And by one, in March, Chloe went back to a mental hospital homeless shelter. We all told her to stay there, but the apartment manager found a way to get her back to Moses Lake. After everything was submitted to remove her from the lease. After that, I was being targeted by the police for 4 months till I left. Looking at my past, between alcohol after surgery and being put in a mental hospital for suicide, Chloe shouldn't have come back, but the manager insisted. I didn't need Chloe's help. Half the time, Chloe's roommate or ex-roommate sent reports in on certain things. Her ex-roommate literally put her on a bus and sent her to San Diego to be homeless. Chloe's bitter since. Thing is her ex-roommate used to say when she lost her jobs, her ex-roommate had to support her. Her ex-roommate also said that when it came to bills, she would pay half the rent, but never wanted to part with any fucking money for internet, phone, or electricity. She says, "Oh, I'll think about it." That's what I get here. And I'm not tearing Chloe down. Don't think I'm belittling her. But think of what we're living with. We're living with someone who thinks they can basically utilize being transgendered and disabled to get what they want. I'm tired of it. I literally told my advocate a while ago, last time I talked to her over 3 weeks ago plus, probably 5 weeks ago, that they asked if I was drinking. I said, yeah, half gallon every week. They told me to get some help, but they were honored that I told them the truth. They told me it's time to get rid of Chloe. I said I got the letter coming. Letter finally came after the doctor finally written it. That was my proudest moment. Letter, keeping my 2-bedroom for life. Chloe gets the boot. You see? Plain and simple. No, it's understanding. I used to. My husband warned me when Chloe was homeless that Chloe was going to be trouble. I said, let's help her. Nope. When Aaron died, I went to help, tried to help her. This is what I get. Dad turned around the other day, and you know what Dad said to me on the phone? You've been dealing with this shit for 5 long years. I want peace. I want tranquility. I want to live my life. I don't want my money stolen. I don't want someone bitching about every fucking dime. Like, oh, I'll think about it. I mean, think. Once in a great while, I'll take my debit card and I'll buy a bag of chips. Sometimes I'll see Chloe eating chips and salsa for 3 or 4 or 5 times a month. And then her food stamps dwindle, and she says, "Oh, they need to give us more food stamps." When I don't touch my food stamps, I only buy stuff and have it shipped in when I need to rotate out stuff. Schwann's can deliver. Prices here are just too expensive. But what happens? You know what happens. Doesn't want to part with anything. Chips and salsa. Then when they're really hurting, they go and stock up 2 weeks of ramen, which is unhealthy. Now, I'm not tearing Chloe down at all. I'm just saying Chloe isn't learning the lessons that I learned the hard way. She's not a princess. This isn't Burger King. And she doesn't get it her way. Plain and simple. I want to be left alone. If I'm in my room here, she comes out to use the kitchen, it's fine. But I don't want to hear anything about politics. I don't want to hear anything about religion. I don't want to hear anything about her attacking someone on YouTube. Or if someone on Instagram is more beautiful than her. I don't want to hear her going out and attacking people on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter because, oh, yeah, I knew a moderator that used to be African American on this channel. I don't remember her name anymore. But Chloe called her NV for N for derogatory vagina. That was Chloe's nickname. I told you right now, this lady was African American, transgendered. She was a really nice lady. Very nice. Rumor has it she's married to a Marine, but I wish the best for her. But Chloe pushed away a lot of people. Maybe I did too, not listening to a point. Like Tara J and Gabby, Vestarum, they were all moderators. Alexa, but still, it's okay. It's the past. But I see my mistakes, and I just want to live in peace. But anyways, I better go use the restroom because I gotta get things prepared. I gotta think of dinner soon. Yeah, what are you doing? You feeling better? Yeah. Anyways, after my dip, I think I'm going to make dinner. The classic ramen bowl. I have a pot somewhere. Oh yeah, right there. So, anyways, I went to my office, had to get something, put it on the chair. Anyways, I just feel that. Oh yeah, my sleep. I couldn't believe that about the freaking the bugs. 6 flies in my fucking coffee. Let's see. Great. More trouble. Anyways, I didn't say you were a sociopath. But since you want to basically attack my channel, well, I'm going to make some tough decisions. All I said was, well, I'm doing this last dip because I do want to watch some TV. I don't know if I want to. I might watch those 3 videos I fell asleep on. It might take me 2 hours. Then I'll watch some Victoria. But the point is, I got one spreadsheet to do tomorrow. I actually got to find one. So if you give me a second, I got to find two on the file list. Because I got one, and then I need to open two more, which the two more are kind of going to be, yeah, I think they're under miscellaneous 4. Yes, I know you guys are probably thinking, what the fuck's a miscellaneous 4? It's actually my file system. Some files are plopped in other things. Let's see. I need L. Ah, here we go. This is one that I had to update anyways, so 3 extra ones for tomorrow, I guess. Won't take too long. Just got to start buying some of them anyways. But the problem is I was trying to set up a payment plan. Chloe owes me like $50,000. And, well, that's for everything that's happened in the last 5 years of finances. I keep a good track record. Let me see. Where's the other one? L. It's not. Oh, here it is. So this one. Huh. I actually. This isn't the main list. There's another one, isn't it? I thought there was more than that. Oh, I should update this too. So, let me see. All right, so these are the games that got stolen. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can do 3 spreadsheets tomorrow, maybe 4. Hold on, let me see. Miscellaneous 3. I should check and see if there's anything in there. I'm trying to find one other file that went missing. You guys are probably sitting there going, "Oh, what do you mean?" Well, I keep my files in certain things, but sometimes they go missing, and I have a longer list somewhere. Ah, here we go. Is this the longer list I was looking for that would total up for 4? Yes, it is. Praise the Lord. Now I just got to figure out what I'm missing and add to it, you know. So let me count the spreadsheets now for tomorrow's work because I do need to get out of here eventually after the dip. But I've spoken what I feel of my heart. And one, two, should look that up and set up. You know what? I'm going to do this real quick. Make a new column for this program here because I haven't checked the other pricing. Okay. All right. I'm trying to make sure everything is freaking stacked up nicely. All right. So currently, if I look at my spreadsheet work, currently there's 4 folders, 4 files. Now I could update the other ones next month if I wish, but to me, it's not worth it, you know. I could. I'll think about the other ones being updated, you know. So, you know, anyways, it seems, let me check. So apparently, just to let you know, Chloe, since you're somewhat spying on me and lording over me, that Miss Wilson did leave. If you go to the 3 tabs on the button and put participants, it shows only you and I. So I'm going to do my dip, finish up, and then I'm going to watch some TV. You know, I haven't seen that one movie in a while. Maybe I'll look for it again. The Titanic one. There's this Titanic one where they talk about the electricians keeping the power on during the sinking of the Titanic. Good movie, I tell you. But anyways, Miss Wilson left, so you might just want to bail out yourself. Hmm. Miss Wilson, I apologize. I try speaking with my open heart of what I feel. This is what I get, so I apologize. This is what makes me the saddest of it all. See, I can't even talk about my past, which is sad. Well, I want to watch movies. That's the thing. I can't stay up till 3 in the morning either again. I need to literally watch movies. And I have to make dinner soon. I can't go hungry. That's the thing. I was doing my tobacco and, you know, I'm apologizing to you, due to the fact of what's happening here. I mean, there's not a damn thing you can do about it. That's the thing. You can't do anything about Chloe. Did I ever tell you my idea of a meal? It's not my computer, it's the bandwidth. No, I could change thingies, but I'm so they're trying to reconnect me. So that's the problem I'm having. The bandwidth is being sucked up. But I'm here right now. But I'm not gone yet. That's the thing. I can't stay on YouTube all day either. I got things I got to get done eventually. I mean, I haven't even done my letters to my aunt yet or my cousin Dinky. I haven't even. That reminds me. Did Chloe give me my phone back? Without my phone, I can't check my bank balance, and I need to get to the post office tomorrow. Layaway does have to be paid. What the hell? Why is my fucking screen dirty? Keep Oh, this is interesting. So they're talking about Johnny Depp coming back to Pirates of the Caribbean. That's pretty cool. This might be interesting. See, the problem I'm having is connection on my computer. Hmm. I don't want to read this. This is utter crap. See, that's the problem. You see, the internet connection is draining the bandwidth. I mean, we're having severe bandwidth problems right now. Here we go. I won't accept an executioner because, frankly, that's considered murder, and I don't condone violence. That's the thing. However, I don't condone my internet being wonky either. That's the thing. The internet's basically. The websites are loading up. It's just YouTube tonight. And I back. Oh, great. It's getting worse and worse to connect. It's either the memory is full or I need to log off. Plain and simple. I think I need to log off because, frankly, the connection ain't stable. Let me see what happens if I load YouTube up directly. Damn it. I just want to see. Mm-hmm. So it seems it says internet connection is unstable. They're trying to reconnect me. So because my internet connection is unstable, I'm going to have to restart my computer and continue. So I will be back. So if you hear this, please add subscribe. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestion, hit the like, subscribe button, also button for your family, including your dogs, cats, your bunny, service dogs. Thanks for watching. God bless you and everything you do.